In the next few minutes, you will discover how spiral dynamics holds a key to a connected universe.
You know, we teach children that our planet is going around the sun like this, in a circle. That's not the case. We should never, ever, ever teach that to children. In my school, we had a sun. We had this little machine, this little device. We had the sun in the middle with the earth and the moon, and we had like a little thing we turned on the bottom, and it would go around like that to show us what the solar system looked like. Did you have that in your schools? This is completely wrong. That would be like saying to children that the earth is flat. It's not true. Why? Because our sun is moving through space. So as the planets are following the sun, they're making this huge spiral through space. And so after a year of the earth spinning around the sun, we're not anywhere close to where we were a year ago. We're millions, billions of miles away. Can you all visualize that? And so that, if you actually took the earth and you took you on the earth, your body on the earth, you could say that like we could follow that path through space, and your DNA is actually embedding information on the structure of space-time all along that path. Do we have any evidence that DNA does that? Yes. It's called phantom DNA. It was discovered by the Russians. It was discovered by accident because there was a scientist that was doing a measurement in a spectrum analysis device, scattering photons off of DNA, and he was taking measurements, and he went for lunch. He removed the DNA sample from the device and went for lunch. And when he came back from lunch, you know, I think Russian people like to drink vodka. He forgot that he had removed the DNA strand, and so he continued his experiment. He continued to make measurements. And the measurements were coming out like the DNA was still in the machine. But the strand was not there anymore. So DNA leaves an imprint on the structure of space-time, leaves an imprint of information on the structure of the vacuum. You are imprinting information on the structure of the vacuum. This is actually, according to me, why you have memory. Because, you know, if you had no memory, you wouldn't have time. Would not exist. Because you couldn't remember anything. So, actually, memory, which has not been identified in the brain, you know, people are trying to figure out where memory is in the brain. You know, a lot of scientists are trying to identify where is consciousness in the brain. I think Buckminster Fuller said it the best. He said, the problem with the current approach to science is that we have confused the telephone for the conversation. Right? The brain is the telephone. It is not the conversation. The conversation is the structure of the vacuum interacting. The chemistry that occurs in the brain, the electrical discharge, is a result of the structure of space-time interacting, not the source.
If you think of the evolution of a planet relative to you, then you have like a evolutionary scale relationship that you can think of as perhaps as Rupert Sheldrake morphogenetic field, in which the information that is on the surface of the planet, which includes you, is shared through the gravitational field of that entity we call the Earth. And so you are communicating gravitationally with each other when you're in the presence of each other by gravitational mass curvature of space-time. And so there's all these relationships at different scale is what is feeding the information through the system and informing the whole structure of space-time across scale. So it's a really good observation, that question.
Basically, we are like antennas of the vacuum. We are like the radio set. We're all tuned to a very specific frequency.
When we expand our horizons, our awareness, and engage our innate urge to explore, we begin to see things differently, connected, beautiful. From the past to the present and into the future, the pattern remains the same. Science helps us understand our connection with each other and the environment, which we call our universe.